What's up, everybody? It's your boy Max Power. I'm super excited right now to review WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. A review so big that it's a show that happened in 2 nights, but we're going to do it in 1 afternoon, okay? I got a lot to say about this. This may be a little bit longer of a video because I'm going to try a different formula for this whole process because I've been watching some of my old ones, taking notes, figuring out some things I could do to tweak it up a little bit. Got some Bailey hair on me, and she's doing great, by the way. So is he. They're happy to have each other back. But anyway, so we're going to review WrestleMania Night 1 first, and then, of course, Night 2 second. Before I go any further in this review, I'm going to keep it as positive as possible. There is quite a bit of things negative I would like to say. I'm going to keep it to a minimum. Now, the world title matches, that's completely void from this. And the Edge and Orton match is void from this as well. But the rest of them, I'm going to keep it as positive as possible. Each match, I'm going to give my thoughts on it to the ones that I feel deserve to have more than just the results read to it. The ones that were kind of throwaway ones, I'm just going to give you the match results and maybe kind of a thought or two. But that's about it. Not going to go too far into it. Don't want to waste y'all's time. I'm going to take my time on this. There's going to be a lot of edits because after each match, I'm going to basically edit and start a new part of the video. It'll be all one super video for you guys, but I'm just trying a different formula, see how it works for you, okay? But before I go any further past this to get along in the matches, I want you guys to know that, you know me, I can't stand WWE right now and what they're doing with their product, but as much as I disagree with them going on with the show, I respect the hell out of them for doing it. And wanted to personally thank everybody involved in that process for giving us some time Saturday and Sunday to just kind of forget about everything. And there actually was some good stuff on here. A lot of bad, but there was some good stuff that I have rewatched. Like that Firefly Funhouse match, I've watched 3 times already since the first time I watched it live. The Boneyard match I've watched twice. Awesome stuff that I'm so excited to go over with you guys. But great show. I'm damn happy to be a wrestling fan right now for what they did for us. But moving forward, I truly believe that they do need to take some time off because I highly expect Monday Night Raw tonight, the 3-hour show, being probably 2.5 hours of a replay of what we saw this weekend and then 30 minutes of matches and or promos, you know, and then they don't have anything else to record. And with the government shutting everything down, I highly anticipate this being an off time for him for another month or 2, which is good. We need it. We need to miss it. So I'm all for it. But let's go ahead and get in the review, guys, and see what we can do here. See if we can make some magic, you know. But some stuff I forgot to put in my notes was the 24/7 stuff because it was so forgettable. I'll go ahead and go over night 1 and 2 of that with you just so I can get that thrown out there. At some point in night 1, R-Truth shows up, does a interview with Rob Gronkowski, who was hosting the show, along with his buddy Stay Hyped, Mojo Rawley, baby. And Mojo gets him with the roll-up, wins the 24. No, he didn't do a roll-up. I'm sorry, I botched that already. First thing I talked about, I botched. He ends up, they end up having a little scruffle, and Gronk was going for the pin. Mojo screwed him out of it. Wins the 24/7 title, and they take off. The next night, Mojo takes off running down to the ring with all the jobbers and Titus Catering. They all go for Mojo to win the title. He's fighting them off. Gronk does like an 8-foot drop. If the jobbers catch him, and he rolls over and pins Mojo Rawley to win the 24/7 title. Who cares, right? I love how they said to build this up. They were saying Gronk's going to do something you guys do not expect. It's amazing. And that was it. Like, really? He just jumped off like an 8-foot drop and there was 10 people to catch him? Max Power can do that with no training and win the 24/7 title. I wish WWE would quit hiring people that have nothing to do with wrestling. I'm okay with them coming in and being managers, something like that, but winning the titles, that's a little too far. Not saying that 24/7 title is relevant at all because it's not and it needs to go away. But the point being is they need to stop paying these people crazy contracts that have no business being in wrestling. Look what happened to Cain Velasquez. What they did with him and Lesnar. Like, it was a joke. Look at that. I said I wouldn't be negative, but I'm already doing it. But anyway, let's go ahead and get moving on with the review, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks for watching. All right, so the first match we have is on the pre-show. I didn't really watch much of the pre-show of either nights. I did watch the matches, though. Cesaro beats Gulak in 4 minutes and 25 seconds. Not really sure what to say here about that one, folks. I really thought this match could have been one of the best matches of the weekend if they would have gave it like another 10 minutes minimum, but they didn't. They gave it less than 5 minutes, and Cesaro wins with a freaking like airplane move. I forgot what they called it. I haven't seen somebody win a match with the airplane little twisty turny thing since like, I don't even know if I've ever seen anybody win it. It was a weird way to end it. I think the wrong person won here. Also, fun fact for you guys, of this show, of the 18 matches they had, I predicted 13 of them correctly, so I went 13 and 5. Night 1, I guess 5 right, 4 wrong. Second night, I guess 8 right, 1 wrong. Of the 5 I missed, 3 of them, I originally had the correct person to win, but I changed it at the last second. Just a little fun fact for you, but the kickoff match could have been so much better. They kind of blew it on that one, but whatever. So we go ahead and get started on the main show. Stephanie McMahon opens with like a pre-recorded video just welcoming us there and stuff like that. Apparently you're not allowed to say the word coronavirus on the show. It's a forbidden ban word by Vince McMahon, and actually one that I'm okay with him banning because you want people to feel good and use this show to forget about it. So I'm okay with that. I actually agree with it. But she just welcomes us to the 2-night event. Standard stuff. The show opens, and I'm kind of wondering how they're going to do America the Beautiful with, I didn't know what they were going to do. So what do? They open the show with a video package that was like a pirate-themed montage for like 5 minutes, which was super cool. I really enjoyed it. It was a neat little video package. Then they open up with America the Beautiful. They use basically every single person from every past WrestleMania singing America the Beautiful in a montage, except the WrestleMania, 13? Maybe 14? I think it was 14, where D-Generation X Band sang America the Beautiful, and it was just awful. People crapped all over it. They didn't use that one, but they used all previous America the Beautifuls into one video package, and I thought it was really cool. Gave me some excitement that, hey, there may be some kind of originality into this show, but we'll see how it goes. Let's see here. The first match they had on the main show was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus the Kabuki Warriors for the WWE Women Tag Team titles. Didn't watch a whole lot of it, didn't do much for me, but Bliss and Cross win this in 15 minutes and 1 second. To win back the women's titles. I think the right people won that. Not sure where they go from here. There's not a whole lot of tag teams in it. The match should have had about 7 minutes shaved off of it, and they should have gave that to Gulak and Cesaro. Whatever, water under the bridge. Not a lot to talk about this. Those titles are dead to me. They don't need to exist. It was a mistake bringing them in. We'll see where it goes from there, you know what I mean? Next matchup, we have King Corbin versus Elias. Not nothing I really want to talk about on this one because the match shouldn't have existed in the first place on WrestleMania, but it did. Elias ends up winning the match in 8 minutes and 53 seconds. Who cares, I guess? Who cares? Just something I would like to note off of that. I had Elias winning the match, don't get me wrong, but I think the wrong person won. You have Baron Corbin, the guy that retired, that seriously ended Kurt Angle's career last WrestleMania, his last match, that guy, and went on to win the King of the Ring of 2019. You have him facing Elias at WrestleMania and losing. Makes sense? Makes sense, okay. Next matchup, we have the Monday Night Raw women's title on the line. Becky Lynch defending against the number one contender, Shayna Baszler. Yeah, Shayna Baszler, the one that ran through everybody in the Women's Royal Rumble, the one that eliminated all 7 of her opponents in the Elimination Chamber to get this match. That's Shayna Baszler. Well, Becky Lynch beat her in 8 minutes and 30 seconds to retain her title. No idea what's going on here. I have some ideas what it could be. But a little fun fact for you, Becky Lynch made history by becoming the first woman to win the women's title at WrestleMania the year before and defend it and retain it at the following WrestleMania. That's a cool fun fact, but I think Becky Lynch has run her course. This whole "the man" gimmick makes no sense. They need to give her some kind of different catchphrase. It just, I guess I'm in the minority here because I'm not a big fan of what she's doing. Turn her heel, make her a true Stone Cold Becky, in my opinion. That's just mine. I know a lot of y'all watching this are probably disagreeing with me, but she does nothing for me, guys. Nothing for me. She shouldn't have won. This proves that Vince McMahon has no idea what to do with people that are actually talented. Why are they calling Shayna Baszler the cage fighter? What the hell's wrong with the Queen of Spades? Oh, I know. Because Charlotte Flair is the Queen of WWE. We can't have two Queen of Spades or queens in general. Yeah, that's Charlotte Flair to me, man. I'm not a big hater of Charlotte. I'm a big hater of how WWE presents Charlotte Flair to us. But, yeah. The only thing that makes logical sense to me here, people, is tonight on Raw, or after it's all said and done, when all the craziness in the world stops, Becky Lynch comes out, cuts a promo, Ronda Rousey comes out, challenges her. That's the only person left to do this. And then Ronda wins the title back from her, which I would be okay with. That's the only way this goes, in my opinion. Either that or Rhea Ripley, however they pronounce it. She comes out tonight and faces her for the title and wins it. Which that would really kind of piss me off a little bit if they did that. But wouldn't put it past WWE to do something like that. Because just for the shock value, like, I don't know. And then what would they do? Do like a triple threat at future pay-per-views? Ripley, Shayna Baszler, Becky Lynch. Even throw in Charlotte into that to be a fatal four-way for both titles, and then they merge the titles. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with this. We'll just have to wait and see. But that match was about 10 to 15 minutes too short. The build for it was not worth the payoff. The payoff was a dud. The match had some stiff shots in it of the time they were given. It was decent, but not what it could have been. And that's not Shayna Baszler's fault. Vince had these expectations of her coming in being just phenomenal, and it wasn't it wasn't reasonable expectations. Shayna Baszler is a certain kind of fighter when it comes to wrestling, and Vince is trying to make her into one that she is not. So yeah, she's gonna fail. That would be like having Rey Mysterio go out there and try to put on like a powerhouse match, power bombing 300-pound guys, choke slamming them, stuff like that. It doesn't work. That's not her like forte. So of course she's failing, and that's not her fault. But anyway, end of that match. Next matchup, we got the defending Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan. Sami Zayn ends up retaining his Intercontinental title, winning in 9 minutes and 17 seconds. Good little match for the time it was given. Again, I keep saying this. You're probably tired of hearing me say I sound like a broken record over here. But the match could have went on a little bit longer, 5-10 more minutes. Good match, crappy ending. Not a lot to say about it. So, next matchup, we got the SmackDown Tag Team titles on the line in a ladder match. We have John Morrison versus Jimmy Uso versus Kofi Kingston. John Morrison and The Miz, I guess you would say, and The Miz retained in a damn good ladder match at 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Probably, at that point, was match of the night for me. Ended up being second place on Match of the Night, which I'll find out in a minute what it was. I'm sure you can fill in the blanks. But damn good match for what it was. Now, it did kind of bother me that they made the tag titles be on the line, but there was no tag teams. I understand why they did it with what's going on, so I'm not going to bash it too much. Why not do Jimmy and Jey Uso and Kofi and Xavier or Big E versus John Morrison? Like, just let Morrison do it himself. They did that back in Armageddon in 2006. Like, when Joey Mercury busted his face in that horrible, horrible spot. If you've never seen it, go watch that. That is some devastating stuff. Anybody that's like, wrestling's fight, don't you know that? Well, you watch that fight crap. Pop that video up and show them how fake it is. But he ends up finishing the match through that. And I don't believe they won, but that would have been a cool little spot to elevate how good Miz and Morrison could be as the tag champions by letting him go into this match with only himself, no partner, and somehow finding a way to retain. I feel like that would have made a huge difference. It wasn't necessary to make it a one-on-one triple threat tag team title match. But all in all, good match. Enjoyed it. Second best match of the night. Definitely would rewatch that one if I went back and watched that stuff. And our next matchup would be Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins. This match in total, which was without a doubt match of the night. I'm just going to go ahead and throw it out there before I forget. Match of the night, hands down. The match in total went a total of... Where is the time on here? I'm sorry, folks. 15 minutes and 18 seconds. Now, it did end right at 10 minutes due to a disqualification, which pissed me off to no... Just absolutely pissed me off. I was like, you kidding me? This is WrestleMania, one of the big profile matches. You're letting it end in a DQ, but they used it to restart it to a no DQ match. Kevin Owens got some stiff chair shots given to him from Rollins on this. Rollins' entrance was epic, by the way, when he came out looking like a god and stuff like that. I hate that gimmick they gave him, so hopefully it ends soon, because this heel version of Rollins is not worth a crap. I want authority figure type Rollins again. That was an amazing heel run, including with the title. But anyway, he got some stiff chair shots. The match ended up getting DQ'd when Rollins hit Owens with the bell. Owens picks up the mic, basically, hey, you coward, let's finish the match. And Rollins, okay. So they start going at it. Rollins hits him with a bunch of chairs. Owens ends up getting the upper hand, putting Rollins back, putting him on the announcer table. And Kevin Owens ends up doing a drop off the WrestleMania sign, which was an amazing spot. Whoever the cameraman and production crew was through on that spot, props to you, bro, or broette, guy or girl, whoever was involved. Amazing job. That was a beautiful visual. It wasn't as big as a drop as it may have been presented. Trust me, I never would have done that drop, so don't take nothing away from them. But that was really about a drop that medium to big size ladder would be in a ladder match, but still, it was amazing visual. He ends up rolling Rollins into the ring after selling the injuries, nails him with this stunner. 1, 2, 3, Kevin Owens wins it, and that was it. Happy with the end result of the match. Right guy won. My only complaint is Owens needs to stop doing the Stone Cold Stunner, period. It's not good for him. It doesn't work for him. It only works for one man. It will only ever work for Stone Cold Steve Austin. You need to protect that move and get rid of it. What's wrong with this pop-up powerbomb? It worked. It worked great. They need to go back to that. It was a devastating finisher that could come out of nowhere. They need to go back to that. But all in all, easily match of the night, and one of the matches of the two that potentially stole the whole damn show. I'm proud of it. That match would have been so much better in front of a live audience. The crowd would have ate that up. They would have had them in the palm of their hands, guys. Great match, like I said, though. One final note on that match is how they were really, really shit-talking during the match. I really appreciated that. It helped with the all-around presentation of not having the crowd there. It kind of made you forget it a little bit. But a side note here, guys. JBL and... I guess it was Cole. I forgot. I'm sorry. JBL and whoever he was with was always the one I wanted to listen to on commentary if I had the two. Because Saxton and Phillips were just... We'll talk about it here in a little bit, but it was bad. But anyway, so yeah, Owens wins. Great match in the night. Loved it. Next match. So next up we had the co-main event. We had the WWE Universal Champion Goldberg defending his title against the number one contender, Braun Strowman. Oh, God! Shit. Gosh damn, my freaking... TV just randomly went off for him. I thought he was here. I was about, Bad Monster! Don't mess with me, Bad Monster! My gosh. But seriously, this is a badass song. It's tough, man. I just want to. You know what I mean? But anyway, so this match was a big shit fest. What did we expect? Roman Reigns was supposed to be in this match against Goldberg. It probably would have been just as bad. It couldn't have been much worse. But anyway, so before I move on with my thoughts on this, the actual match itself, I believe, truthfully, they should have never spoiled who was going to be the replacement. They shouldn't even announce Roman wasn't going to be in it. At the beginning of the show, this is how I would have booked it. Have Stephanie do her intro, and basically state that we have breaking news. Roman can't defend his title. Here's a live interview, Skype interview with Roman, and he'll explain why. Make him look like a hero. And then, like, later in the show, have, like, doubt if the title's going to be defended. Have Bill Goldberg basically be like, dude, I'm going to the ring. Whoever wants a shot that feels they've never properly been given the chance, this is your time. Have him go to the ring, Goldberg, and be like, who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? And then cue that theme song. Braun comes out. Match happens exactly like it happens. He wins the title. Fun fact for you guys, I'm going to show you what actually happened in this match. This is truthfully how the match went down. No joke. It was a 2 minute, what was it? 2 minutes and 10 seconds was the freaking match. 45 seconds of that was them shit talking. I messaged my buddy at 8:26 Central Standard Time, right before they rang the bell. I said by 8:30 this match will be over. They'll already be showing the replays, and Strowman will be posing with the title. 8:29, match over, replay over, Strowman posing with the title. Called it, bitch. But not really a proud moment. I mean, I shouldn't be proud. What the hell did I expect? But anyway, this is exactly how the match went on. Braun Strowman won it. 2 minutes, 10 seconds, new champion. I'm going to show you how it went. Check this out. Shit you not, people. This is how the match went. This is Goldberg or Braun Strowman. I will be whoever's doing the action in the match. They come out, introduce, hold the title. Okay, to start out, I'll be Braun Strowman. This will be Goldberg. We're face to face, talking shit. Strowman's like, you ain't never faced anybody like me before. Goldberg's like, oh yeah, let's go. So they go to start the match. They do a tie-up. No. They don't do a tie-up. Goldberg kicks Strowman in the gut, throws him into the turnbuckle, goes for a spear, misses. Strowman comes at him. Goldberg, boom, one spear, gets back up, boom, two spears, gets back up. He's winded at this point. Enzo's helping me. Third, bam, goes for the pin. 1, 2, 2. They get up. Goldberg goes for the third one, or fourth. Strowman grabs him with the weak power slam. There's one. And another. There's two. Goes for the third. 3. Exactly. Then he goes up to get him again. Goldberg nails him with the final spear. Picks him up for the jackhammer. He misses. Strowman grabs him. Running power slam. 1, 2, 3. Winner and new champion. That was the whole damn match. It was literally the whole match, guys, and Enzo apparently didn't like me doing that. So they were making fun of Bill Goldberg for being out of breath and winded through that. Hell, I was out of breath for it. But anyway, Strowman wins the match. Something that was really cool at the end of it that I did like was when it was all over after they showed the replay, Cole was like, congratulations to the new Universal Champion Braun Strowman, and he yells out something. This is not really verbatim, but kind of. You heard his voice kind of crackle when he said the first part because it was making him emotional. He was like, in his Strowman voice, you all said I could never do it, but this, and he's holding the title, is proof the monster lives. Whoa. Pretty cool moment. Match sucked. Didn't expect anything different, but just happy you got the title. My only fear is they've buried him so far for so long, and now they just kind of threw him into this title match. it kind of worries me that it won't be as effective as it should have been because of how much they buried him. And we got smart fans out there that know that he wasn't supposed to be there to win it. He wasn't even on the card, but he ended up on the card getting the title. I'm very happy for him. Dude is so long overdue. But yeah, so now we move on to our main event. We got AJ Styles versus The Undertaker in a Boneyard match. Fantastic presentation of this matchup. I'll explain more about my thoughts on these presentations with matchups like this when we go over the Firefly Funhouse. I'm not going to have a lot to say about what went down in the actual matchup for either of these matchups because I don't want to spoil it for you if you guys have not seen it. I may do a special for this in the coming weeks where I just review those matches and what went down on them and give them my deep, deep thoughts of how I feel about them because I have a lot. I would love to talk to you all about it, but I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. So if you haven't, go watch it. Like 48 hours ago, bro. They're amazing. Like nothing you've ever experienced. Now, my only complaint of the whole thing is how stupid does the OC look right now. 3-on-1, and the 3 couldn't beat the 1. The 1 was a 50-plus-year-old man that could barely walk, and they couldn't get him, and they had the numbers with them. Makes 0 sense, but whatever. Fantastic match. I read online that this matchup was actually Kurt Angle's idea. Undertaker was very disappointed in his last matchup he had with Goldberg. Don't blame him! But Kurt Angle said, well, try Styles. He'll give you the best matchup you've had in years. Taker took him up on his offer. They created magic, man. Undertaker won in 19 minutes. Buried AJ Styles alive. He drove off on his bike. He was the American Badass through this whole thing, and I loved it because he got to talk crap. You got to see a different version of The Undertaker that is very rare for you to see. It made him feel human. I really liked it. I don't think they need to do it anymore. They gave us one more night as his American Badass biker Undertaker gimmick. That's enough. I loved it for what it was, and I think it just needs to stop right there. If this was Undertaker's last match or last ride, I would be okay with that. I think it would be picture perfect because he keeps looking for that last great match to ride off into the sunset on, and I feel like this is it. He missed his opportunity with his Hell in a Cell match with Triple H back at WrestleMania, what was it, 29? Something like that, 27, 28, 29, something. He missed his opportunity, but that's all right. You can right that wrong now, man. This is the time for you to ride off. Like, literally, at the end of the match, you rode off into the darkness, bro. It was picture perfect. You can't ask for a better, ending. Just take it, roll with it, and, pun intended, roll with it. Rolling. Get it? But he rolled up in the beginning of the match and at the end of it to Metallica. It was new style Metallica, like new school Metallica, which isn't my favorite, but Metallica's my favorite band in the world, so I'm okay with it. Metallica's Metallica, and Undertaker came into the match and left the match with it, so I'm happy with that. Guarantee that was Triple H who had something to do with that, because he's a huge Metallica fan. I read online that this was, I want to say this matchup was NXT's production. The Funhouse matchup was WWE. But it was amazing. I really, really enjoyed it. I went back and watched that, like I said, a couple times. Probably will do it even more. Hope they continue to do things like this. But all in all, the show itself for night one was okay. You can kind of tell that it was a fill-in episode with most of the matchups. There was a couple of them that were good. But all in all, I'll give it a 6.7 out of 10, which is a D+, which, considering the circumstances without the fans, is acceptable. I mean, WrestleMania and the environment, the atmosphere, the fans is literally like 75% of what the show was about, and they didn't have it. So they did what they could with what they had, and for what they gave me and presented me, considering the circumstances, 6.7 out of 10, which isn't bad. Just think about that for a second, though, folks. A D+ is acceptable in this day and age to us WWE fans for what they give us. Pretty damn pathetic, if you ask me. But that's all the negativity I got for night one. We'll go ahead and move on to night two. And hope you guys enjoyed night one. Let's roll tonight. So the kickoff matchup for night two, again, I didn't watch the kickoff other than the match, was Liv Morgan versus Natalya. Liv Morgan beats Natalya in 6 minutes and 25 seconds. No idea why this is a WrestleMania match. Hey, did you realize this match got 2 more minutes than Gulak and Cesaro? Think about that for a minute. WWE logic, people. WWE logic. But anyway, show starts off. Stephanie welcomes us back to night 2. I really like these opening segments that they had with Stephanie. Kind of, for what they could do. I appreciate it. And that was the only thing we saw the McMahons all through WrestleMania. And I appreciated the hell out of that. Nice little change there. But they start the show off with the same video package they did the night before. Proves how lazy these writers can be at times. It was a cool opening for night 1. Night 2, it made no sense. It was a 5-minute freaking intro of people that wasn't even on the show tonight. Some of them already had their matches. Some of them weren't even on the freaking show at all. So, again, it was cool, but the fact of having it 2 nights in a row and it's a 5-minute freaking montage, lazy, man. Lazy. They didn't do opening for America the Beautiful again. If they were going to replay one of those, I kind of wish it would have been that, but we'll take what we can get, right? So, here we go. The first matchup to open the show, we had the NXT Women's Championship on the line. Rhea Ripley defending her title against Charlotte Flair, the #1 contender and Royal Rumble winner of 2020. I'm going to say right off the bat, I did not want Charlotte to win this. I knew she was going to, and I went in with the expectation she was going to, so I wouldn't be pissed off when she did. This matchup was match of the night for me. Actual match was matchup of the night. It was a beautifully crafted, scientific wrestling match. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I loved how Ripley sold her leg being injured, hitting the side of it, acting, causing issues for her to get any offense in at times. That's wonderful storytelling in wrestling. They need to do more like that. It's a lost art. I respect the hell out of them for doing that move in the match. But anyway, Charlotte Flair wins the NXT Women's title in 20 minutes and 30 seconds with her figure 4 leg lock. Switched into the figure 8. Love that move, by the way. One thing that kind of bugs me is I think I know where WWE's going with this. They didn't acknowledge her NXT Women's title that I'm aware of as one of her titles in the 10, but they're acknowledging this one as 11 since she won it. Does that mean they're going to go ahead and just bump her up from one night from 10 world titles to 12 because of the one she won in NXT originally to this one? That's going to give her about 4 away from the record. That's how I'd do it if I'm quickly trying to get her up there. I'd go ahead and do it. That way we can just get one knocked off. One less knocked off so we don't have to deal with it anymore. I don't mind Charlotte Flair. I actually am a big fan of Charlotte Flair. She's in my top 5 favorite female wrestlers in the world right now. But I don't like the way WWE presents her to us and how much they shove her down our throats. If they presented her in a way like they do, say, Sasha Banks, maybe a little stronger, I'd be a bigger fan of her, and I think so would all of you. But, so, she wins the match. Not sure where this goes to. I know what they're doing. The AEW effect is in full force here, people. The reason she won the title is because they're trying to give her exposure on NXT so her fans get drawn in to go to NXT so they can help them win the war against AEW. Bad move, WWE, because it's not going to work. If anything, it's going to push people away. You want proof? Go back and watch the Charlotte Flair versus Bianca Belair matchup on NXT a few Wednesdays back. The ratings actually dropped when that match took place. People don't want to see her on NXT. People come to NXT to get away from the main roster people. I respect the move that you guys tried to do, but you chose the wrong damn woman to do it. And you're going to learn pretty damn quick that you picked the wrong one. Just wait and see. Matchup, we got Dolph Ziggler versus Otis. Not sure how this fits into the WrestleMania matchup, but I'm actually okay with it being on WrestleMania because from start to finish, this was actually the best told storyline in WWE. Match itself wasn't that great. Really, maybe 2 stars out of 5 tops. But it was the story. The end of the story is what everybody was waiting anxiously for. Otis ends up beating Dolph Ziggler in 8 minutes and 15 seconds. The match ends with Otis actually getting a kiss with Mandy and getting to carry her off into the sunset. All cute and happy, I loved it. You could tell on Mandy's face, though, she was not digging this moment at all. Look at Mandy Rose and look at Otis. That would be like me getting Mandy Rose. That ain't gonna happen at all. Very unbelievable because someone like Otis don't get a Mandy Rose. But I love the storyline and what they're doing. The only thing that bothered me about the matchup, though, guys, is they have, even in the video package, the build of the quote-unquote the truth will be revealed thing. They didn't progress nowhere in the storyline with that. Now, I'm not going to give it too much hate because I'm going to assume that we'll get more info on that this Friday on SmackDown. It'd be one of the few things they actually show that isn't a replay of something. More than likely, it's going to be Ali. It's going to be Mustafa Ali because of the logo is exactly what his logo is. But we'll have to wait and see. But that was a cool little moment. The only thing that sucks about it is that moment was actually made to go on in front of a live audience. Could you imagine the pop Otis was going to get? Everybody loves Otis. Dude's awesome. But sadly, under the circumstances we were in, he didn't get it. For me personally, I would have booked Otis to lose it and reveal the truth thing. Then give Otis his moment when we can do it in front of a live audience. Get the girl, get the kiss, however you got to book it. Because it just wasn't as effective without the fans. So I would have called an audible there. But it's okay. He got the girl, he got the kiss, man. Enjoyed the match. Cool little storyline. Really enjoyed it. We got one of my most anticipated matchups of the whole WrestleMania show. Edge versus Randy Orton in a last man standing match. Let's go ahead and just get the elephant out of the room. You know, I tried, people. I absolutely tried to enjoy this match, but I did not. I would say probably 75% of this match I wasn't even watching. I had it in my peripheral vision, but it was just too slow paced. After each move, there would be like a 20 to 30 second in between time. I saw at the end of the match, when the match was over for the final 10 count, it actually took 37 actual seconds to get to the 10. It was like in between each second was like 5 seconds. So it was like 1, 2, on and on and on to 10. Edge ends up winning the last man standing match in 36 minutes and 35 seconds. If they cut this match, say like in half, maybe even knock 12 minutes off the match, I would probably be praising it. If you add this match being a solid match, this show probably would have been a B+ for me. But the match was awful. I'm sorry. I love Edge, and I'm so happy he's back. Even if he doesn't give us good matches for the time, however short or long it'll be, I'll still watch and appreciate that I get to see him. And might I add, he looks like he's in the best damn physical shape of his life. That's impressive. It was really surreal seeing him come out for an actual match. Never thought you'd see that again. The ending of the match was actually really good. I did enjoy that. The match ended with them being on top of a truck. They were in the back, and Orton nails an RKO on him. He goes to set him up for a concerto. Edge hits him with the spear. You could see that spear coming a mile away. He hits him with the spear, sets Orton up for the concerto. He goes to hit it, and then he struggles with it. Seems like he's crying a little bit. Wham! Nails him with the concerto. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Match over. Edge wins it. That's the end of it. And then he kind of just stands there, kind of letting it all go, you know, like it's over. I won. The match was the only match that had a WrestleMania type build / feel to it to me personally, other than Otis and Dolph Ziggler. Unfortunately, it didn't deliver. It may have been a little better if it was in front of an audience. I would actually be okay with this match being presented in the WWE movie type way, like they did with the Boneyard match and the Firefly Funhouse. Knock it down to 15 minutes, including entrances, and just make it a movie. I felt like that match should have been a part of that. They should have had 3 total movie, quote-unquote, matches, and that should have been one of them, and I think it would have been a lot better. One last thing that really bothered me about this match was Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton on commentary. Holy crap, guys, that was awful. That was terrible. Like, why are they whispering through this match? Why are they going to silence? They talk for like 10 seconds and then they're quiet for 30. It's like I'm watching Tiger Woods on the 18th freaking hole at the PGA Tour for the golden jacket. Gold jacket, green jacket, who gives a shit, right? But they really did not help the match. That might have been a part why it may have been just a meh for me if there was good commentary going on here. But because it wasn't, it was a for me, and the match, I'll never go back and rewatch it. I was literally brushing my dogs, getting their shedding off of them during this match because I was bored and I couldn't stay focused. This match sucked. I know a lot of people are giving it love. Some people are giving it hate. I'm a part of the hate. I think it sucked. I'll never rewatch it again. Next match. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I forgot there was a Raw Tag Team title match. Street Profits versus Angela. I can't even remember. Angela Garza and Austin Theory. It was supposed to be Andrade Cien Almas. Oh, sorry, excuse me. Andrade. But he ended up needing... I think he got injured. He wasn't quarantined, man. He got injured. But Street Profits end up retaining in 6 minutes and 20 seconds to retain the Monday Night Raw tag titles. I didn't watch it. I went outside for a smoke. Had no interest to watch it. This match wasn't needed on the WrestleMania card. But they retained the titles. The only plus of this whole deal was Bianca Belair debuted to join the Street Profits. That could be interesting. But, yeah, that's all I got to say about that match. Next matchup, we got Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's title against Tamina. What the hell is she in the match for? She hasn't won an actual match since, 2009. Didn't even know she was still on the freaking active roster. But, WWE logic, folks. Haven't seen her, hasn't won a match forever. She gets a title shot. Tamina Snuka versus Naomi versus Lacey Evans versus Sasha Banks. It gets down to Bayley, Lacey Evans, and Sasha. Bayley and Sasha start to kind of turn on each other. But Bayley ends up talking her down, saying, calm down, it's okay, we'll figure this out later. Lacey Evans nails the women's right on Sasha, gets the 1, 2, 3. Bayley does nothing to stop Sasha from getting eliminated. They finish off. I actually thought for a moment that Lacey Evans was going to actually win this. I originally picked Sasha to win. That was the only match I got wrong last night, by the way. So the match ends with Bayley actually coming out and helping Sasha. Sasha ends up winning the match by pinning Lacey Evans to retain her women's SmackDown Women's title in 19 minutes and 20 seconds. Decent little match. It wasn't really WrestleMania feel. It should have just been Sasha and Bayley, but that's okay because at the end of the match they celebrate with each other. Sasha put the belt on Bayley, and the announcer was like, why the hell is she helping her? She didn't help her in the match. That's the point. They're building towards a SummerSlam match between both of them, and I, for one, am okay with the match that they had last night because the Bayley versus Sasha match for the SmackDown Women's title absolutely, definitely needs to be in front of a live audience because them two can tear the freaking house down if they allow them to. No offense in the WWE, it'd be a 5-minute show on the pre-show that nobody ever remembers or gets to see, and it end in a double count-out just to end up leading to a fatal 4-way where both of them are eliminated right off the bat. Don't do that. Don't do that. For the love of God, do not take that idea from me. That is not an idea. Next match. I don't know what all I got to say about it. I haven't quite figured out the right words. I try to prep and plan on what to say here, but I honestly don't know how to describe it. Let's just go with this. Bray Wyatt beats John Cena in 13 minutes exactly in a Firefly Funhouse match. I will be describing throughout this review for this part as a match, but it wasn't. I don't know what way to word it, so I'll just say match. Just like the Boneyard match, it was freaking phenomenal. I almost dropped an F-bomb because how excited I am. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's not seen it. Again, like I said earlier, I want to do a whole episode just talking about those two matches. But until then, I want you guys to have time to go see it if you ain't seen it. If you haven't seen it, go watch it right the freaking now. In this video, don't finish my video. Finish it later. Don't finish it right now, but go watch it right now. That match is officially on my top 10 favorite matches of all time. I've rewatched it multiple times, like I said earlier in the video. It was incredible. I can't describe what happened. Nobody can describe it. Legit, freaking professional, famous podcasters cannot even explain what that matchup was. What that match was, I can't explain it. So you just gotta go watch it. There were so many throwbacks to previous wrestling historic moments that they relived, and I loved it. I sit there and watched it with my fiance. She didn't enjoy it. She thought it was really stupid. There's a lot of younger people that thought it was stupid, and wrestling fans I haven't been watching very long that thought it was stupid. So You're either on the side that I'm on, that you thought it was one of the most amazing things you ever seen, or you're on my fiance's side, thought it was stupid. The ones that thought it was stupid, more than likely it's because you haven't been a wrestling fan for very long. You didn't get the references they were throwing in there from past things that happened in wrestling history, and that's okay. This match wasn't for you. This match was not created for your enjoyment. It was made for my enjoyment. It was made for all you major fans out there enjoyment. And that's cool. It was an amazing match. My favorite match of the weekend. I will probably relive that match and rewatch it probably once a month for the rest of my freaking life. There's some matches that I do actually do that. And this is going to be one of them. This is going to be one of them that I tell my kids to go back and watch when they're old enough to understand wrestling history stuff. I loved it. Amazing. I think future tense, this was the beginning of what we may start getting to see in wrestling. I'm not saying every night, every episode of wrestling will have a presentation like this. I'm just saying like major pay-per-views for a blow-off match or something like that, they could present it in this movie way. I think we just experienced phase one of wrestling being viewed in a completely different way, and I love it. I hope they learn from this and keep rolling with it, and they keep progressing it to more awesome things and keep doing that, because whoever the hell was involved with those two matchups doing that, give them a freaking raise. Give them a raise because they deserve it. They earned it. That was some of the most amazing stuff I've seen in WWE or in wrestling as a whole in over 10 years. I'm very hard to please watching WWE these days, and I felt like a kid watching this. I was telling my fiance during the Funhouse match, I feel like a kid right now. Like, I'm marking out. Like, I keep having to remind myself this is WWE, and I try not to enjoy it because I'm like, it's WWE. It's going to end like shit. It's going to end bad. And then I forget that I'm trying not to enjoy it, and I start enjoying it again, and then it ends amazing. Like, the match was amazing. Go watch it. I can't say much more. Bray Wyatt wins, 13 minutes exactly. That's it. Go watch it. Main event time. Last match of WrestleMania 36 was the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Heavyweight Champion of the World, Brock Lesnar, versus Drew McIntyre, who won the 2020 Men's Royal Rumble. Before I go anywhere with this, I want you guys to know there was a small part of me that didn't want Drew to win here. I hate to admit it. I didn't want him to win it because I felt like he deserved a moment in front of the crowd. I think a lot of people felt the same way, but you don't really want to end WrestleMania, especially right now, on an angry note. You want to send people home happy and get them talking. So I understand why they did it, but I feel like they kind of robbed him a little bit of his moment. The situation did, and that's cool, though. He deserved the chance. He deserved the title. And from what I read online, Brock Lesnar was a big advocate, pun intended, of pushing Drew to the next level and helping him get over. But anyway, Drew McIntyre beats Lesnar to win the WWE title in 4 minutes and 35 seconds. Your main event of a freaking WrestleMania was 4 minutes and 35 seconds. It was nothing but finishers and German suplexes. The Suplex City, bitch, was old 3 years ago. Stop doing it. You can do a suplex or two throughout the match, but stop making that 90% of your match is suplexes, German suplex, different kind of suplex, F5s, false F5s. For God's sake, I thought I was watching Lesnar and Strowman. Apparently someone in the back freaking gave the notes to the Strowman-Goldberg match to the producers of Lesnar and McIntyre. Oh, Bruce Pritchard, you gave him the wrong damn notes, bro. That couldn't have been what the main event was supposed to be, right? Who am I kidding? All the Brock Lesnar matches is nothing but German suplexes, F5s, and finishers 10 seconds into the match. They never go more than 10 minutes. Dude can go, man. I love Brock Lesnar when he actually tries. I feel like he's really hurting the business. He's really hurting this company. And a part of me wishes he never came back because he's hurting the company. They went to these part-timers as their main champions after they did it with Lesnar. Shit's gotta stop, man. I heard a fact on there that was very intriguing to me. If I heard him correctly, this was the 5th Mania in a row Lesnar came in as the champion. The 5th Mania in a row. And I thought Roman Reigns was getting old. Fun fact for you guys, by the way. Undertaker winning at Mania the other night. He's now 24-2, which is still a damn good record. But that is actually his 104th pay-per-view win. Easily most of all time. Cool fun fact I forgot to tell you all about. But anyway, at the end of the whole show, after they showed the replays, they show Heyman kind of sitting there just in shock. Drew McIntyre goes to the corner and he screams something along the lines to the camera, "I know you're all here with me right now. I see you. I feel you." And then he did his pose, and the music, and then the show ends. I thought it was a cool little moment. You can tell he was really emotional, but I think it would have been a bigger moment if he wanted to say at SummerSlam or something. It would have been okay to wait, but all in all, it was an okay night 2. I enjoyed night 2 better than I did night 1. The Funhouse match really added some extra prestige to it. If they would have given Lesnar and McIntyre another 7 minutes of actual wrestling, this show would have been a C+ for me. Maybe even a B-, maybe a B+. I don't know. But all in all, I gave it a 7.2 out of 10. C-, again, acceptable. In this day and age, a C- is acceptable. My final thoughts on the show: I think they should have postponed WrestleMania, waited to do it later. I guess they're doing the Hall of Fame at SummerSlam. They should have just made SummerSlam WrestleMania, in my opinion. I don't know. They could have done something. They shouldn't have done it. I get why they did it. They can play this whole bull crap that they were just trying to entertain us. The wrestlers and everything, sure. I respect the hell out of them for going out there and risking themselves and doing this for us. Respect the hell out of you guys. But Vince McMahon, you piece of shit, I don't respect you. You didn't do it for any reason other than the money. Don't try to bullshit a bullshitter, bro. I'll call you out on every damn time. You did it because of the money. Nothing more. You don't give a damn about your performers or your fans. You just give a damn about the money. So, another WrestleMania in the books. Another... If it wasn't for the circumstances, I would say that Mania would have went down the exact same way for the winners. Maybe Lesnar would have won. Maybe. That would be the only difference. And Roman would be the champion, not Goldberg. So, if we take that as a whole, and it was a one-night, 8-hour shit show, I would say this WrestleMania would be a D-. But they were smart to do it in 2 nights, and I hope they continue to do that in the future, because 8 hours in one setting is just too much for me. If those 8 hours were all matches that had meaning to it, oh man, count me in. But this show had a shitload of fill-in matches that had no business being on there. Here, I'm going to go over them and tell you, let's just book one Mania for one night. 4 solid hours of great matches. And I'll tell you what matches I would go with. Hold on, to be a 4 to 4.5 hour show. This is the card I would do out of the matches that we had. We'll keep Charlotte and Ripley. I'm going to keep Otis and Dolph Ziggler. Maybe have a different matchup. These aren't in particular order, by the way. Just matchups I would keep. Edge and Orton. I would have Bayley's match. I would honestly... I guess I'll keep it. I'll keep Wyatt and Cena. McIntyre and Lesnar. I'll keep the ladder match. I'll keep Owens. I'll keep the title match, the Goldberg-Strowman match, the Undertaker match, and Becky Lynch. Okay. So I got 10 matches right there to book in 4.5 hours. Maybe add Zayn and do the SmackDown's women titles and Zayn and Daniel Bryan in the pre-show. I don't know. There's 12 matches of the 18 that they had. You can book it in in any kind of way you want. But those matches actually had meaning and value to them. And I feel like they could do that in one night and make it a lot more enjoyable. Make the smaller matches like Otis and Ziggler just kind of be a squash match. Fill in a few minutes of time. Have from entrances to the end of it under 10 minutes. Like, there's ways they could have done it and made it real enjoyable. I'm about quality over quantity. These WrestleManias, I feel like lately, have not had much of a build at all. When you have an 8-hour show and only 2 or 3 of those matches of that show are the only ones that stand out and you have any interest in going back and rewatching, you are a failure. That is failing. That is failing your fans. That is failing yourself. That is failing your company as a whole and everybody that works in it. So, get your shit together, Vince. Give us some good shit, pal. I love that call out they did in the Firefly Funhouse, by the way, but that's my thoughts, guys. I know this was a little longer video. I appreciate you guys sticking around if you have at this point. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to your boy Max Power. Hope to see you guys next time, and I'm hoping to get more content wrestling related out there for you guys. Got some fun stuff on the way. Much love, guys. Thanks for watching. What's up, guys? I'm recording this after I'm done with all the recordings for the review and everything. There's something I forgot to do during this, so ignore the misplacement of this this part of the review. But I want to give a shout out to my good friend Jason, one of my wrestling buddies. He kind of gave me a review on the title matches, that the WWE title match and the Universal title match, of how they went down with the finishing moves and everything. He compared it. He basically said something that was very intriguing and a fantastic point. And I got to give the credit to him because this wasn't me, but it was well said. He was like, how do you think wrestling would be viewed today if in the 70s, 80s, and 90s they had their big main events like with nothing but finishing moves and be 5 minutes long? You know, he's like, take for example, like in the mid-90s, have a main event Wrestlemania build of Hogan and Flair for the vacant title. And they build up for the biggest match of all time, only to have it like go down like this, a 4-minute match with nothing but big boots, like 2 big boots, 2 leg drops, kick out at 2 by Flair. Then Flair nails a low blow on Hogan, goes into the figure 4. Hogan gets the ropes. Hogan gets up, nails him with another leg drop. Flair kicks out at 2. Ric Flair gets up, does a few chops to Hogan. Hogan hulks up. Flair throws him into the figure 4 one more time. Hogan continues to hulk up, nails him with a big boot. 2 big boots, 3 big boots, and then 2 leg drops, 1, 2, 3. That was the whole match. Do you really think we would be standing here talking about how Hogan and Flair was the greatest champions of all time if that's how they booked their matches? Solid point. Well done, Jason. That was a great way to put it, brother. Thanks for watching and being a fan, man. Just wanted to give you that shout out.